Okay, so I'll present my screen over to BrightThinker. Boys and girls, if you're watching this little tutorial on how to do the science quiz for today. This is a different format, and I was using Mrs. Campbell's quiz, so I had forgotten how different this is than what we've done before. Now, the first part is pretty straightforward. We've got 5 dwarf planets in our solar system. Unscramble the letters to find each one. So, for example, what would the first one be, do you think, Aryansh?
Eris?
Almost. Ceres. Yeah, oh yeah, you got it at the same time. And if you're not sure, take a look at your notes before you take this quiz to remind yourself of those 5 dwarf planets. These are just definitions, so it should be pretty easily tied to your notes. For example, number 1, the blank blank is part of the constellation Ursa Major or Great Bear. Which of these is part of that constellation? Do you know? Aryansh, do you know which one?
I think it is Big Dipper.
Good, yeah, Big Dipper. So they're basically 2 separate constellations because we think of just looking at the Big Dipper, but it's part of an even larger constellation, Ursa Major. Okay, now this is the part that's quite different. Let's skip down to the bottom. This is just definitions. So small space objects made of frozen gases, ice, rock, and dust. They revolve around the sun. When it moves near the sun, a tail of gas and dust forms. All right, so use your notes to help you with that. Those are pretty straightforward, though. Do you remember which one that is, Aryansh, by the way? Number 1, it has a tail white stream in the sky.
It's either an asteroid or a comet.
It's a comet, good. So you would choose B for that one. Okay, now this is the part that's new. We've got a huge chart here. And you filled out information in your notes throughout the week on each of these planets, or actually mainly from last week. So for this, there's distance from the sun and then the name of the planet. So we would be going in order of the planets in our solar system from first next to the sun all the way to 8th. So underneath, for number 1, you'll write, what is that planet that is first from the sun? So what is that planet, Aryansh?
Mercury.
Perfect, Mercury. So you write Mercury in the blank. I'm going to tab over to the next one. For number 2, you'll write, is it an inner planet or outer planet? Just say inner or outer.
It's an inner.
Good, it's an inner planet. So you'd write inner. Now, would you say it's a small planet or a large planet?
A small planet.
Good. I'll write small. I'm going to double check that you don't get counted off for not capitalizing. I might need to go back and change that, though. Now, for rings or no rings, it already tells you there are no rings. The inner planets don't have rings. For atmosphere type, what kind of atmosphere does Mercury have? Or
it doesn't have any.
That's right, it doesn't have any. So we're going to write none because Mercury doesn't have an atmosphere. Number 5, how many moons does Mercury have?
0.
Correct. So we'll just write 0. And finally, the last on this whole line for Mercury, is it solid and rocky or is it a gas giant?
It's solid and rocky.
Good, just like all of the other inner planets, it's solid and rocky. So that's what I'll write. Does that make sense? Okay, I'll stop recording at this point. Hopefully that helps for those of you who had questions about it, boys and girls. I'll talk to you later.